Hi lovelies and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stronald and here is Bellistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos and leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to share with you guys where these Asian American people are out to tell the reason why they actually dislike, black people. And I was just, let me just put it up here so that we all can actually delegate on this. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together from Asian people. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
This actually is a serious question. Why don't you like us black people? Non-American Asians always gave me the cold shoulder. American Asians were cool and I often hang out with them. Are they just not used to us?
Partially. Sad
to say, but I know that there's anti-blackness very much so in a lot of Asian American communities. And obviously, unfortunately, anti-blackness is global. And I think
it's a very long historical answer.
Yeah.
Some of it has to do with not being used to it. Okay, so colonization happened throughout the whole world when white colonizers took over Asia, Africa, all the other continents. And with that came the belief of anti-blackness that was instilled upon all of these communities. Now, once those colonizations ended, you were left with this homogenized community where they don't know anyone who don't look like they're all white, all Asian, all South Asian, whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden you fast forward to having technology and Western media, because again, controlled by whiteness, is pushing out this message of that black communities are gangsters, do this, they do that. And then that media gets pushed out into the world in the form of movies and TV shows. And now you take this homogenized community who has learned anti-blackness through colonization and stuff like that, on top of the fact that it's then mixed with people who are learning about these races for the first time through fictionalized television that is controlled by white media. And then you have this biased look. So when they meet black people for the first time, they're having to reconcile what they have been essentially brainwashed into thinking versus then trying to figure out what that means when they meet you and they're like, but you're not any of these things. Which is the reason why you get a lot of people from Asia who are having to go through that discovery, and Asian Americans who grew up with that and know that those are things that are essentially propaganda, mind washing, to keep upholding this idea of, and instead of using the WS word, I'm going to say anti-blackness, because one is,
hand in hand,
and they push this anti-blackness, then it's basically global propaganda. So then people are trying to, come to those terms. And instead of just being hateful, they may just not understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that's like the short end of it.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing to contribute. That was very concise. A lot of people are just conditioned to believe that black people are whatever the conditioner wants you to believe they are.
Yep.
And, like my grandma, the only black people she had ever seen were American soldiers in Korea. And to her, they were all part of the same group. And then when she came to America, all she knew about black people was, like you said, what she had seen on TV, what people had told her. And so she was very distrusting of black people. And I was like, how many black people are just like everybody else? Like, I go to school with black kids, like, and she was just like, oh no, they're very dangerous. I'm like, they're not. This is just what people wanted you to believe. But what else did she know? You know what I mean? She's just this like, country girl from, uneducated, and is told by everybody in power what to believe. My God is better. My people are better. My guns are better. So she's like, okay, well, all of these things are better. So I better side with the better side.
Yep.
Thank you, Miss Metty. Forgive you for asking the right question. You gotta forgive us, Koreans, for having the tendency to look down upon you guys. Let me give a little tweak on your question just to make it a little easier for me to answer you. Okay? How about putting it this way? Why do Koreans have the propensity for leaning towards brighter colored people compared to the darker ones? Why? Have Africans ever invaded Korea? Have Africans ever taken away anything from Korea? No. Then why? Why do Koreans have the proclivity for favoring the light-colored ones compared to the dark-colored people? This is all because I believe racism is taught at a very subconscious level. No one can say that officially Koreans favor light-colored people and detest darker ones. No one can say this out loud. But in reality, it's everywhere. Why? Because Koreans are taught to do so. This is all because Korea is hugely impacted by the US forces and the USA. So what's happening back in the States in terms of racism is exactly happening in Korea. Koreans are taught to favor bright-colored people compared to the darker ones. Hopefully this is helpful to you in understanding the racism here in the country, but hopefully one day we all be colorblind so that such questions like yours can no longer exist. But for the time being, racism here in Korea can be a hurdle for you, but I believe your love for Korea is greater than those obstacles. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
So in China, we don't treat foreigner differently. As long as you have a non-Chinese passport, you will be considered as a foreigner to China, no matter where you come from or your nationality or the skin of your color. All the foreigners will receive the same treatment. However, there are sometimes you might get stared at if you visit like urban area or smaller city. So you might get staring by the locals. But I can guarantee you, the reason why they look at you or stare at you is not because they hate you or the racism. It's simply due to curiosity. So still a large portion of Chinese that never traveled before and probably never see black people before. So if there's any black visitor travel to this place, the local Chinese will tend to very curious about them and then will stare at them. But then means no harm. Like the reason why they look at you or maybe discuss about you is because they're curious. If you're black people, you are 100% safe in China. Nobody will kill you because racism or hate crime. And nobody will deny your service because you're black. However, there might be a chance that some place you are not allowed to go in if you are a foreigner. For example, we have some attraction in China that only open to Chinese citizens. So if you are not Chinese citizen, you are probably not allowed to go in. But that is applied to all the foreigner. Besides that, I think that's all. If your black people want to visit China, welcome, and don't be afraid that people will judge you or treat you badly, because we will not. People might stare at you due to curiosity, but they will not treat you less than any other foreigner. And I hope this information helped.
Realize that by pointing this out, what you've actually done is confirm that white systemic racism against black people has bled into other cultures. Right?
You ever seen those videos of black people in China like, "You're so excited! I've never seen a black person now!" First of all, I'm gonna need y'all to stop agreeing to these photos. You are not on display at a zoo. But that's for a different video. But now what I do want to talk about is my experience in China, which was pretty different. I'm reviewing different tourist destinations based on things to do and what it's like for black people and people of color. Before I begin, just a PSA, if you are landing in the Beijing Capital Airport, please do not underestimate the size of this place. It is bigger than your wildest dreams, trust me. And when I went, in order to exit the airport, you had to get a 3-day visa while inside of the airport in line. The line for that visa might just take you 3 days. Starting with things to do, Beijing is huge, and there is so much history here, and you cannot go to Beijing without seeing the Great Wall. As you can see, I thought I was a photographer, artiste, if you will. Now, we didn't really climb this. My lungs are not set up for that, but it was beautiful. We climbed enough to take this photo. We also went to the Forbidden City, which was beautiful. We were snapping pictures. And everywhere we went was obviously an opportunity for me to show off my skills. Okay, put this in the Met. Now, Beijing for me was a quick stop to see some of the major sites, but how did I feel as a black person? As you can see, there is no crowd around us. No one is asking us for a photo. I have to say, not a single person stared, not a single person asked for our photo. It was to the point where we were like, do we even exist? Because we definitely expected much worse based on what we've seen. Now, I understand that my experience was probably an outlier, and maybe things were different because we had a Chinese tour guide. But there is still so much history, so much to do, so much to see, great food. Taking all of that into consideration, I would give Beijing a 7 out of 10.
Like, seriously, lovelies, oftentimes black people has been complaining about how, these Asian people treat them. Like, sometimes I wonder why we have to, suffer from being treated by the oppressed group, which happens to be the colored people. And now, these Asian people, a lot of people complaining about how they even been treated even in the beauty store, in their companies. I saw a video which I actually posted on my other channel, which is Belinda's channel, where this, black woman decided to get a job from this Asian store. And all of a sudden, they decided they don't want to see this woman. They don't want to have anything to do with her because they saw that she is actually a black person. And another one that actually happened, which I posted the same video on my other channel, which happens to be Belinda's channel, where these Asian people decided to, create a particular, beauty product that is just, strictly black paint, because a lot of black people has been around trying to tell them that we need, some kind of product that is suitable for at least melanated skin. But these people, because of the way they treat, black people, they decided that, okay, we're just going to give them this black paint and that is it. And another thing that I felt that is the reason why it's just the way it is because in Asian or modern community, they often have this perspective that black people are the bad ones. The way at which these pan-colored people presented black people to be, they see them as, someone ghetto, someone of like, they are the bad people, they are the bad eggs. So you just have to be very careful with these people. So because of that mindset, because of that narration of what they have been told about black people, so anytime that these Asian people comes across, this particular they use that or what they have been told or felt about black people to, fight against them. And another thing I have to ask, why is it that even if you've been told that these people are kind of bad people, without even getting to know these people, you're already judging these people? That is one thing about these people. They act according to what they've been fed, or what the media have been fed, or what the media feed them, or what the media tell them that this is how black people are. But without them trying to get close to these people and getting to know them, to actually know if what they've been told or fed about these people is actually the truth. And this is just the misconception that we have. I don't understand why we all are in the same minority group, but you in a minority group, you will still want to treat a fellow minority person. You want to be racist towards a minority person. Like, I do not even understand. I cannot project this. Like, we all are in the same boat together. Even if you feel that because of maybe your white, skin or your fair skin, you have the privilege, or you have more privilege than that of someone of a darker skin complexion, this does not help. I could remember about this affirmative action, during the affirmative action, where these, Asian people were thinking that black people are actually the reason why they are not getting admitted into the Ivy schools. But one thing led to the other. The truth was actually revealed. They did everything possible for them to, shut down affirmative action. And after this affirmative action has been shut down, the rate at which this student, the Asian student, to be admitted into the school drastically reduced, even compared to when affirmative action was in the school. So I do not see the reason why you will want to start fighting someone that you are practically in the same boat with, because you people are just a tool to use to fight black people. That doesn't mean that pan-colored people actually have you guys interested at heart. You guys are somehow like a tool to not to make us to rise. That doesn't mean that you are so special. Like, seriously, when I saw this, I was like, okay, let me just put it up here for us to, dialogue on this, because this has been the order of the day. Asian Americans, the way they treat, black people in general, it got me like, why? There is a video that trended that I actually posted on my other channel, that is Belinda Stranad, where this Asian store decided to go somewhere to Africa and open an Asian store, and they termed it only Asian. Like, why would you go to an African country, open an Asian store, and name it only Asian? Like, they do not allow African people to shop in same store or in same store. But you cannot do such a thing in an Asian country. A black person or an African person cannot go to an Asian store, then open up a store and name it only African store that Asian people are not allowed to get or shop inside. This is what really happened in Africa, somewhere in Nigeria. So all of these things is just something that baffles me a lot, but thank God for this and for their explanation. Anyways, lovelies, why not just put me your, leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And don't forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.